Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome back to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader. How is everybody doing this Sunday? I hope everyone is doing well. You survived the full moon. I barely survived the full moon in Leo. It was hectic, it was chaotic, it was emotional, it was cray, and not just personally for me, but also the energies were crazy. People were like, especially driving, I don't know if you guys noticed, but everyone was honking, everyone was aggressive, people were screaming for no reason. Like, calm down, sit down, calm down. What is up with you and this full moon energy? Wow. Anyways, hope everyone is doing well. I thought, and as we are waiting for the Village to gather round, I just wanted to ask everyone, what did you think of the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl performances, also the results as well. I guess that was a big surprise. I do not follow NFL. I do not follow the football, but I do know that the Chiefs had a streak of 3 years in a row and the Eagles won. So I'm sure some of you Eagles fans, some of you watching who are Eagles fans, are super happy with that. So I thought, since Super Bowl was last week and a lot of you, well, not a lot of you, but some of you, because you know that I love hip hop and rap, and I used to be really into the scene when I was younger, you wanted a reading on the whole Drake versus Kendrick Lamar feud, beef, however you want to call it. And I thought, well, the timing is perfect since Kendrick performed for the Super Bowl. And I've got to say something. I did have the chance to watch the halftime show. I loved it. I didn't think I would, but I have to say I loved it. And in my opinion, and I agree with a lot of people online, I do believe that Kendrick won this beef. Okay. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. I really thought he was amazing. I loved it. There was a lot of symbolism, but not the type of symbolism we normally talk about here, but there was a lot of symbolism when it comes to himself. The only thing that I was kind of disappointed about Kendrick's performance, but it wasn't so much about his performance, but the fact that I found out something that I didn't know, that he was handpicked by Jay-Z, because Jay-Z is on the NFL board as someone who's responsible for the type of entertainment that he brings in. So, handpicked Kendrick Lamar, but I loved all the dissing. It was, yeah, it was entertaining. So, as we wait for the Femme Village to gather around, I just wanted to say hello to my favorite people in the world, the Femme Village. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday to you too. Hello, Asa. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Lord, what a week. Peace and love from Chicago. Lots of love to Chicago. Happy Sunday, Anne Marie. My voice is still off, you guys. I'm still trying to fight off and get rid of this stupid cold that I've had 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. My sinuses are going crazy. Hello, Texas. Okay, lady says the game was boring. I didn't watch the game. No point in me watching the game because I don't watch football. I mean, like NFL or anything like that. So, okay, the game was boring. Was it because the Eagles were like so ahead of the game? Like they were. That's what I heard. Okay, that the Eagles were just straight off the bat. They were playing amazingly. I don't know. Yeah, I thought the halftime show was really. I also thought it was amazing. The choreography, the even the symbolism, which is all revolving around Kendrick Lamar. It was interesting. Not just that. How I saw it was really Kendrick Lamar kind of like starting a revolution, and it was sort of like a protest, if you will. Not like us. Okay, he censored some stuff out. He had to. It seemed to me that, and he changed some of the verses and stuff. But it seems to me that it was very much like this, like, let's unite, let's start a revolution. Let's not forget that we are united. A lot of questions. I mean, this is not going to be a reading about Kendrick's performance. Is more so about the beef, but we'll talk about it a little bit because I find it interesting. What was also interesting is that a lot of people said, I mean, one of the major disses, right, aside from Not Like Us, which was a major diss to Drake, was the fact that he brought on two of Drake's exes. Oh, you petty little Gemini, Kendrick. You petty little Gemini. So he brought in Ceza, he brought in Serena, who did the crip walk. So there was a lot of talk about the crip walk, and there was a lot of talk about whether the dancers and the choreography, because they were dressed in red, blue, and white. So there was a little bit of this, people saying, was this sort of like how can I say this? Sort of like, was that symbolic with regards to like the Crips and the Bloods, red and blue? And then there was the Crip walk. There was all of that. But hey, you know what? This is 2025. We don't live in the 90s anymore, where you have this like major feud, not even feud. It was like, it was pure terrorism at the time between West Coast, East Coast, Bloods, Crips, all of it. So yeah, I also loved what Kendrick was wearing. I have to say, I loved his jacket. I loved his jacket. And then I read somewhere that his jacket said Gloria, which is the last track on his new album. So there was a lot of symbolism. Very smart man, him being a Gemini. We'll look at their charts as well as people enter the room. So there was a lot of what was I saying? Yeah, a lot of he's very, very creative. Geminis are very creative, and they're ruled by Mercury, so they're amazing at communicating their ideas, their thoughts, their beliefs, all of it. But we'll look at their charts as well and see what is up with those two. Let's hope this beef is done. It's done. Drake, listen, dude, I know your ego, but come on, let's let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Kendrick Lamar killed it. So that's all I'm going to say. Everyone's agreeing. So far, what I'm seeing is everyone is agreeing that he was on fire. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. It's complicated, Asa. It's complicated. It goes back to 2011, this beef. Okay. Just as we all thought it was done, back again. It's a whole thing, but I'll explain it in short as best as I can without getting into too much detail, because someone would have to do a deep dive and really listen to the verses, would really listen to, like, the all of these like breadcrumbs and disses that both of these rappers have been leaving in their raps and their albums. So, but I'll get to that. Oh, the Chiefs never got started. Oh, okay. All right. Hello, Zesty. How are you doing? I hope you all have your beverages, your drinks, your snacks, all of it. Hope you're all comfortable. Enjoy as we hang out this Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're watching from. Where is our mayor data? I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, lots of symbolism there. Yes, Anne-Marie, thanks for reminding everyone. So as you enter and you're getting comfortable, and just as we're getting ready to start the reading and this live show, please give us some love by just clicking on that thumbs up button, and do please subscribe if you just stumbled upon this channel or this video. You won't regret it. We have a beautiful community here, and we do talk about and cover and do a lot of readings on a lot of different topics, true crime, pop culture. We talk about astrology, spiritualism. We've got it all. One-stop shop here on the FemmeTarot channel. For a minute, I forgot what my channel was called. Hello, perimenopause. Yes, That's how bad it is. Gemini strong. Yeah, but Drake is a Scorpio. For that, after who got in trouble? Kristen says Kendrick addressed his culture, but he was also taking on the current political regime. Yes, he was, absolutely. And Trump was there, apparently. So, not apparently, he was there. He was watching the show. Thank you, Oak. Thank you. You all look amazing. I can feel your energy. You're all beautiful souls. To win that cost, he jinxed it. He jinxed it for the Chiefs, I guess. I don't know. Just saying. Oh, Serena. I heard she got in trouble. She's from Compton, right? Oh, Lord. Welcome to the Perry Club. Perry. Hello. Hello, Perry girlies out there. It's a ride. I'm right at the beginning of it, but I've got the foggy brain. I've got it, all of it. I can't think straight. I'm all over the place. I forget to respond to texts and emails, and it's a nightmare. And I'm someone who's really on it normally, so this is disturbing. But anyways, let's not talk about that. Hello, Danny. Thank you. We love you. What is everyone saying? Yeah, tell me about Serena, because I'm not up to date about that. Serena got into a lot of trouble for doing the crip walk. I think in the past, I don't remember who it was someone else who did the crip walk, and they got into major trouble from the network. She won a medal, so for her to do that at the Super Bowl was huge. Times a changing. It is you guys, this is Aquarian energy, Aquarian vibes. This is the people are going to do what they want to do now without fearing control. This is breaking the chain. And I'm just thinking of Fleetwood Mac, just as I said that, by the way. I love Fleetwood Mac. Grew up with Fleetwood Mac because my parents, both of them, big fans. Love. Hello, beautiful Danny. Hello. Good day to you too. All right, so let's get to it. So a quick rundown, a little bit regarding the beef. Okay, the feud between Drake and Kendrick. So it's lasted 2011. It's lasted 13 years. Okay, there was a period in between where they both went quiet, but then it just went on. It went off again. So it started with two. So the whole story is like Drake back in 2011, he was already he was big. He wasn't a huge rapper at the time, but he was quite big. So in 2011, he came out with his second album, and which was called Take Care. All right. So at the time, Kendrick was fresh blood in the rap scene, fresh off Compton. And Drake actually did a collab with him, and he featured Kendrick at one of his songs called Buried Alive. So that collab went really well, and it seemed that Drake was taking young Kendrick Lamar under his wing, and everything seemed amazing. Now, let's fast forward. There were a couple of collabs in the meantime. Since then, that they've done a couple of songs, and then fast forward to 2013, where Lamar features in his song Control Big Sean, and now they start dissing Drake basically, and other rappers as well. So Drake did not take that very well. He is a Scorpio, remember. He is a Scorpio. We'll get to the analysis. We'll look at their charts, and then we'll throw the cards as per usual. But Scorpios, oh my God, they're intense. Sometimes you can't even joke with a Scorpio. They can take things so seriously, and so because they're emotional beings. Scorpios, they're water signs, and they do have a hard shell, and they sting with their tail. But here's the thing: they cannot. Their first instinct is to tap into their emotions, not into their logic or rational thinking. So Scorpios, if they feel like you have insulted them, offended them, hurt their feelings, whatever, they're going to attack back. Okay. They're petty, they're vindictive, all of it. That's Drake. Okay. Because then Drake went off and he created a diss track dissing Kendrick Lamar. All right. So this has been going on. It's been on and off, and it got quite dark as well, because here's Drake accusing Kendrick of being a wife, someone who does bad things to his wife, okay? Accusing him for that, accusing him just basically not making fun, but just dissing him about being from Compton. There's a whole series of things. But the thing is, Drake didn't really have, so he was just dissing, right? He was just going after Kendrick. But a lot of the stuff that he was saying about Kendrick, I mean, the wife beating stuff, okay, we don't have proof. There's no proof. His wife never came out and said it. Actually, his brother-in-law came out and said this is BS. Kendrick is amazing. He's a great dad to his wife's children. He's a great partner, etc. Unlike Drake, who has a lot of skeletons in his closet. They're not even skeleton. They're not in the closet yet. The closet was wide open. We already know what Drake is like, because there are so many stories throughout these years that have come out about him having a soft spot for the younger women. All right. Lots of examples to bring. Millie Bobby Brown is like one of the most recent ones, where he would text her when she was 14 at the time. That came out. That created a whole thing. Then there was the daughter. What's her name? G Harris or something like that. Anyways, I don't remember that. This is the daughter of a huge producer who was underage at the time, and he was flirting with her, texting her, wanting to go out with her, all of that. So he has a shady history when it comes to that. So Kendrick Lamar, of course, is going to bring it up, and he's going to diss Drake because of his shady stuff, the shady stuff that Drake's been doing. And so this has been going on back and forth. Obviously, it has created two teams: the Drake fans being pro Drake, the Lamar fans being pro Lamar, and just creating all that. I just want to say that Drake and Kendrick are very different rappers. To me, they're very, very different. Drake is more on the commercial side now. He's, whether he likes it or not, but that's his Leo moon. We'll look at their charts. He's a lot more commercial. He's more mainstream. He's done these amazing collabs, I have to say, with Rihanna, with other artists as well who are more mainstream. So the latest thing that's come out about Drake is that he uses ghostwriters to write his verses, to create his bars. It's a whole thing. He denies it, but the music industry, and I've heard this before as well, by the way, just saying, inside scoop, that's the rumor, all right, that he doesn't write all of his raps, all of his verses. Now, let's forward to 2023, more recently, where Drake disses Lamar in his song First Person Shooter. Okay, Drake went all in when it came to dissing Kendrick Lamar. And of course, him being a Gemini, Kendrick Lamar, he's not going to sit there and take it. He's like, let's have fun. And we'll get to this, what is going between those two, okay? We'll get to the energy and the chemistry and all of it between those two. And that's when Kendrick Lamar created, I mean, there are two diss tracks that he created, which I think one of them, the more the darker one and the heavier one. I want to say it's called the Meet the Grahams. He wrote a song, he wrote the verses as if it's a letter to this illegitimate child, according to Kendrick Lamar and others in the music industry, that Drake has, that he has a illegitimate or a child out there. And apparently his name is Adonis. And so Kendrick wrote a whole 6-minute, 7-minute rap song dissing Drake. Okay. That one, if you have 7 minutes of your time and you don't have to listen to it, just go read the lyrics. That's all I'm gonna say. And then he came up with Not Like Us, which has proven to be an amazing commercial success. It's huge right now, which is why I also believe whether it was Jay-Z who picked him or the NFL board or whoever, great pick to have Kendrick Lamar on. So Not Like Us, and you heard the song at the halftime, and it was censored. He goes all in. He calls Drake, he calls him a PDF file. He goes after him, dissing him about substance abuse, about Drake having this false notion that he is one of the big three, as they call it, not the astrology big three, but the big three rappers. Drake, no. No, there are better rappers. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're not a good rapper. I'm just saying there are better rappers out there. But this is definitely subjective. It's not objective. So this is in a nutshell. Obviously, I'm missing a lot of details from this, but I'm just bringing you up to date regarding this feud and what's happening, especially to those who don't know what is this. It's so hard to follow it. It's been going on for so long. It's so hard to follow what's been going on. Someone said I do enjoy, I missed it. I'm going back in the chat. Someone said I do enjoy both. They're very different. Okay. One of them is more this rap, which is more easily digestible, especially now that when he started off, he was more authentic, more a genuine rapper. Sure, he didn't have the background like Kendrick did, or LL Cool J did, or Eminem did. He came from Canada. He had a different upbringing and a different background. But that doesn't make him a bad rapper, okay? We can't take that away from him. But I do feel that throughout these years, and me being a hip-hop rap fan and me having worked in the music industry, I want to say he lost his way along the way. So it was all about the money. And rap is not it's not pop songs. Rap pop songs. It's not pop, it's not something that you'll create a big hit you're going to make as a record label or as an artist or as a producer. You're going to make a ton of money and then you move on to the next thing. Rap, there is a whole history. It's a culture. It's an absolute culture with a lot of meaning and a lot of symbolism. And it goes way back into the 60s and 70s. So to me, Drake lost his way and he became more commercial. So, and all these collabs and all these songs, but they were commercial. They're not the rap. He became more of an entertainer rather than a rapper. Whereas Kendrick Lamar, this is my opinion, all right? Kendrick Lamar is more of a genuine rapper. He's not, some people compare him to Tupac. I don't, because they're different energies, different styles. But I see why people would kind of compare him to Tupac. Just saying. He has that. He's about social justice. He is about like black lives and black people and the community. He's very much about, he's extremely great at writing verses. Just like Eminem is. I have big love for Eminem, but I'm just saying that he's extremely talented. Drake too, but Kendrick to me is more talented. And him being a Gemini, being ruled by Mercury, and we'll look at their charts now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to bring both their charts together so we can see them. Usually I bring one and then one after the other, but now we'll look at them both. So him being a Gemini, he's really good at using words to send a message or to communicate something. Okay, so a quick look at what you guys are saying. We'll look at their charts, and then we will start throwing the cards and answering your questions. Thanks, Val. Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing, Val. Val is our tech checker, because if you remember a few months ago, I had so many tech issues. So Val is kind enough to let me know if everything is working. Oh, Danny. Ooh, has a Scorpio stellium. Not easy. I know, not easy. Handle with care with Scorpios and with Scorpio stellium for sure. Light Mission says Scorpio versus Gemini. My money's on Gemini. Scorpio strike too fast. Gemini are tactful. Yes, we'll look at them because we need to look at their Mars as well, because Mars is how they communicate. Mercury is how they communicate, but Mars is also the energy that they put out when they really want to put a message across. So you guys, I always do that. Again, peri mind. When I mean wife, I call wife and husband, but anyone who is in a long-standing, fully committed relationship, wives and a husband, I call them that. Even in readings, I can say, oh, I see that you're married, and they might not even be married, but to me, it's a marriage, okay? Because it is the energies, and you are intertwined energetically with your partner. So, yeah. Kendrick doesn't think that Drake has any street cred. Yes, that too. He doesn't believe he's got, because he grew up in a more cushy background, right? And he's also, I believe he's mixed, right? He's mixed race. Drake, that is. Has a lot of money, and he was an actor before. So yes. So it tracks when you look at Drake's chart though. Oh, interesting you say that. My husband just said that earlier as well, because we were talking about it. They're both signed with Universal. And I will tell you this, a record label would pit or would create drama, fake drama between two of their artists, but they would do it usually when they want to like boost or promote one of the artists or both of the artists' singles or albums, but it never lasts 14, 13, 14 years. It would be a one-time off, maybe people would talk about for a month or two, it would be done, purpose, mission accomplished, they move on. It is not, because actually Drake is suing Universal for defamation, because they said you're allowing Kendrick with Meet the Grahams and Not Like Us, you're defaming me, you're ruining my brand, you're ruining my reputation. So now this is going to be interesting, because I would like to see what kind of contract Drake has with Universal, because this is going to get messy. This is, if he goes ahead with this and they don't go into mediation, we can even throw the cards. It's going to get messy, because he's going against his label. And if and let's say, I don't know how, that's why I said I need to look at his contract, but if he's tied by that contract and he is in a legal battle with his label, doesn't bode well. It won't go well for Drake's career for as long as he is with that label. So interesting times. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was that as well, where he fondled and kissed a young girl on stage in one of his, where was it, one of BTE awards or something like that. I agree. Kendrick is more like he's got this pure rapper essence about him, right? A rapper, hip hop. He is the culture. Drake is not. He used to be. Fame, money, all of it. You know what's funny? Um, when Kendrick did, in one of his diss tracks, accused basically Drake of being a PDF file. You know what Drake's response was that? How can I be a PDF and if I'm rich and powerful? What? Is that your argument? Is that what you have to say? Ugh, I can't with these people. There you go. Everyone's saying he grew up in a rich. He had a cushy life. He had a cushy life. He didn't come out of the Compton. He wasn't afraid every day if there's going to be a drive-by, a shooting, if they're going to shoot his brother. If he had a good life, okay. Okay. Kendrick did censor Christina himself at the half. I mean, he didn't. And if you saw, I loved how he wasn't looking at the camera at all until he dropped Drake's name. I love that. All right, let's look at the. He was a child actor. Yeah, I know. Oh, thanks, Val. Okay, before we get to the chart, if anyone hasn't watched it yet, we did a very disturbing, I have to say. We weren't, well, at least I wasn't expecting it to be that detailed, of a channeling and mediumship reading about the Black Dahlia. So we really come out with a lot of, both of us together, me and Psychic Jamie. There's a lot of gruesome details that have come up, everything. We really pretty much mapped out what happened on the day of her unaliving. Amazing. It was almost like I felt like we cracked the case. I know there were some people afterwards told me, that the person that we saw as being the person who unalived Elizabeth Short, Black Dahlia, he was on the suspect list. But here's the thing, we got so much stuff. So after this live, if you have time and if you're in the mood, or tonight or tomorrow or whenever, go watch that video. Very interesting. We enjoyed it, even though it was gruesome. I did put a trigger warning in the description because there's a lot of talk about stuff that is a bit gruesome, because we were getting so much information, so many imprints, so many visions about what happened that we were describing them. But thanks for mentioning it, Val. All right. Okay. Maybe the mods can drop it down below, the link. All right. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to find their charts. Okay. Here we go. We have Drake. Excuse me. My nose is running. Okay. So we have Drake here. I don't know if you can see it. If you can see, let me make it bigger because I can't see. Hold on, you guys. All right. So as you can see here, we have, let's start with Drake. So he is a Scorpio. As you can see, he has a moon in Cancer, and he's got Mars in Aquarius. The most interesting part about his chart is this: the fact that he has his ascendant in Leo 29 degrees, which this, if for those of you who follow or study astrology, you'll know the 29th degree is the most powerful degree. It is fortunate. It brings in abundance. It is very, very powerful. He can manifest easily. This is Drake. But he's also narcissistic, with narcissistic tendencies, and of course, lack of humility, which unfortunately it's something that we see in Leo moons and Leo risings sometimes. And then we have so he's very intense with that Scorpio, very intense. And look, he's got a sun and moon in water signs. He's also got Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio. He's got a lot of water, a lot of water. So Drake is impulsive. He is emotional. He is someone who takes himself way too seriously, which I believe this is where it all starts, where this whole beef slash feud started. Let me see what else. He's also got ascendant. Yeah, we talked about the ascendant, and then he's got Mars in Aqua. Listen, if he doesn't like you, if you annoy him, if you hurt him, he's either going to be a cold stone killer, or, and not literal, okay, metaphorical, and he's just going to make your life a living hell with all these placements that I see here. Kendrick, on the other hand, being a Gemini ruled by Mercury, as you know, he expresses his feelings. He's more expressive. He's also a lot more playful, more youthful. He's all about self-expression, which he does through his music. He's also hyper inquisitive, someone who needs to know everything that is happening around him. I forgot, I'll go back to Drake because I forgot a couple of things to say. He's also very witty and clever, and he's got a sense of humor, that maybe not everyone picks up, because looking at his chart, it seems to me that Kendrick is he either has a very childish kind of sense of humor or very dry sense of humor, depending on, I guess, who he's talking to or who he's with. Another trait of Geminis is that he gets bored easily and he needs mental stimulation. Here's another clue about what's going on here. He also has Mercury in Cancer. And what makes things a little bit more interesting is that his Mercury is conjunct Mars. So very, as I mentioned earlier, he is witty, but he's very, very quick, very quick. Just generally, he is quick reflexes, someone who is very much on the ball. His eyes are always on the ball. He's got it. He's always alert, but he's also got Mercury in Cancer. He's got a sharp tongue. He's not going to swallow his feelings. He's not going to swallow his thoughts. He is definitely going to come out and say what he wants to say. I want to go back to Drake a little bit and say another Scorpio trait is that Scorpios, not only do they get it, they are one of the most obsessive signs in the zodiac. They're like a dog with a bone, worse. They're like a boa constricting a gazelle. They're not going to let go. They're not going to let go. Very obsessive. He goes low, but obviously Kendrick can go lower. Here's the thing. This is antagonism and competition. Who does it better? And hold on, let me bring myself back up. Hold on, you guys. Let me remove this so it can be back. Yeah. Who does it better? And also, pardon the expression, but I've got to say it the way. Who's got it bigger? This is all about who's got it bigger. This whole feud beef. So it's how I see it. And I looked at their charts and I'm like, okay, it makes total sense. It really validated what I was thinking. Kendrick being the Gemini, the child. So if you see them as a partnership, those two, Kendrick is more of the child, the one who is mischievous, and he's witty and sharp, and he wants to discover new things and create new things. And Drake being the Scorpio, he's like, no, I've got the power. You follow me. You follow my lead, because I'm a league of my own. And if you want to be like me, but you need to you need to do what I say. Okay, the dynamic of this relationship with those two. And I believe that Kendrick, after this, the first, back in 2011, with the first disc, let's just say, I just, and if you go back and listen to it, I don't think it was anything bad. Like you have that a lot in the hip hop slash rap world. You do have these diss tracks. There was a time when it was just totally trendy that they would create beef between them, artists, rappers, hip hop artists, and they would do these diss tracks, and they were super popular, and they kept on going with it. So, but the thing is, Kendrick, being younger, more naive, I guess, when it comes to how the industry works at the time, didn't realize that he just messed with Drake's ego and Drake's false sense of grandeur that he has, because he does. A lot of Leo risings have this, or Leo moons, especially Leo risings. So, and Drake's like, oh, you little shit, I collabed with you. I put you out there in the world. I helped make your career, or sort of boost your career. Now you're like dissing me. Now you're gonna see. And that's it. He went dark. Drake went dark. His ego was all bruised. And by the way, anyone who has a big ego, trust me, it's because they have a vulnerable ego. And that's what's happening. Very vulnerable egos. Very vulnerable ego from Drake. And it was just a snowball, a domino and a snowball effect. After that, the hatred. And I don't believe that Kendrick feels hatred towards Drake. This is what's interesting. But I do believe that Drake now, not back then, because I do believe like 10 years ago, Drake was still kind of like going along with it. But now Drake's like, this has gotten serious. But hey, Drake, you also participated in this. So you're also to blame. It's 50-50. Drake doesn't like it because he sees that now the fans are siding, well, the hip hop rap fans are siding with Kendrick Lamar. And he sees that he's become now this more mainstream artist. But I can tell you this, it is the Gen Zers, the alphas, the betas soon, that are the consumers. They are the ones who download those songs. They are on Spotify, they listen on YouTube, etc. Boomers still use CDs. The Xers and the millennials, yes, on Spotify, etc. But they're not the ones who consume in the rate that these younger generations consume. And the thing is, and you know what? Earlier on, I asked my kids and I said, do you know about this beef? And they both said, we know about the beef. Or I was surprised that they knew, because these, like, especially Drake, he's not part of their generation. And then I asked them, who are you teaming up with? Like, whose side are you on? They both said Kendrick Lamar. They said, by default, Mom, it's not even a question. They said, Kendrick kills it. Kendrick. This is what my kids said. And they represent their generation. They're 13 and a half, and 10 and a half. My two children. So they represent. So these are the consumers. And what Drake is probably realizing now, we're going to throw the cards in 1 minute and I'm going to take your questions, is that he realizes that this generation is not going, they're not, listen, this generation, they're light workers. I've said this before. All these children that were born 2011 onwards and after are all light workers. They're here to help the collective. They're here to help us with the ascension, and as with this age of Aquarius and all these huge changes that are coming, and with the new earth that is here. So these children are not going, they're not about, they don't consume discord anymore. That was our generation, the Xers and the millennials. They want unity. They want anything that makes them feel good, anything that is entertaining, anything that they can even learn from and gain information from. So I believe, and we will throw the cards, that Drake unless he reinvents himself or he comes up with some super duper amazing track with and does this amazing out of the box collaboration. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Drake. I mean, I think if I was his agent or his manager or his label, I would say, listen, Drake, let's start afresh. Let's do something different next time. Why don't you do a collab with someone like I don't know, let me think, someone who's more I don't know. I would just thought Yo-Yo Ma or something completely not pop culture, not mainstream. Someone like, I mean, Pavarotti's not with us anymore, but like a famous opera singer or something. Just create. I would do something like that just to get out of this energy vortex that both of them are in. But now it's done. Kendrick said it himself. Game over. And he meant that he won. Then I agree. Game over. Game over. All right, let's throw the cards because I see you guys are already posting your questions. Okay, I'll go a little bit back. If I miss your question, drop it again. This country's headed in the wrong direction. NFL had the cowardliness to issue an apology for his performance. Why? Why? I don't get it. Why? Will Jay-Z lose his position over entertainment for NFL? To be honest, instantly when I read that, I'm like, no, NFL, Jay-Z is not going to lose his position. No, because I believe that he probably donates or funds or he is involved financially. But no, I don't believe that Jay-Z will lose his position over the entertainment for NFL. Jay-Z will lose his position in the at the NFL if dark stuff and bad stuff come out. By the way, did you hear about speaking of, we need to, you guys, we need to do an update on the Diddler, Jay-Z, all that, because I feel there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes, but we're all so consumed by what's happening right now in America and the US politics, the Baldoni, Blake Lively stuff, Kendrick Lamar and Drake stuff. We're so distracted with that it doesn't mean that things are not happening behind the scenes regarding this case. So one of the women who was accusing of Jay-Z that years ago, Jay-Z, essayed her and all that, she rescinded, she took back, she dropped the case, the lawsuit. Did they get to her? Did they get to her? So unless Jay-Z is in serious trouble, I don't see him going anywhere. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, I had to. Do you know who shot at Drake's house? No idea who shot at Drake's house in 2025. I don't. Oh, I remember that. I remember he made a video. To be honest, it's nothing to do with Lamar. It's not. It's not nothing. It's something random to this. That's what I remember that, and I remember that's what I got at the time when I read about it. Narcissism, control, power. He wants control. He wants to be the top dog. He wants to be this famous, powerful, rich artist. This is not jealousy because his ego won't let him feel jealousy towards Kendrick, because jealousy, it's a very lesser feeling. It's a very low vibrational feeling, and he was not going to allow himself to feel that way. This is antagonism because of narcissism. Drake just could not take that this young artist called Kendrick Lamar at the time just dissed him. And it wasn't, I don't believe that Kendrick did it because he wanted to harm what's his name, Drake. It wasn't that he wanted to create, it was just something that he did. This is part of the hip hop culture, diss tracking. It is. But Drake could not, his ego could not friggin' take it. Scorpio with Leo. So narcissism to the fullest. He's got narcissistic traits. Hence why he likes the young ones. Okay? This is, you guys, with PDF files and people who generally are attracted, whether they're female or male, to younger underage people. They're to minors, a minor, to quote Kendrick. All right? These people, they are about control. They have issues with themselves, and what the reason why they go after minors and people who are underage is because they want to have control over them, and it's the sense of control. This is what's happening with Drake, unfortunately. Call him out, yep, in the Control song. He took it way too personally. Way too personally. For the shooting, no. I just answered that, no. A minor. Okay, Mila says they don't like them either. There you go. I mean, the younger generation has made its mind. Let's see. Let's see. Question. Okay, there you go. I didn't want to miss any. Will Kendrick and Drake make up, reconcile? Good question. Exactly. Thank you. The beef is not that deep. Make a track about that. The beef is not that deep. The beef is not that deep. I'll rap it. I'll make a rap. It's going to be the FemmeTarot rap. Okay, good question. Let's see. There's hope. I can tell you that. That's what I was getting. There is hope in the future world. Yes, there is hope. There is hope. Death. 7 of Wands. Yeah, it's done. It will be done. It will be done. This beef is gonna be put to bed. So things are gonna change. The energy between them is going to change. And here's the death, being done with this whole beef. We're done. And 7 of Wands being more zen. Kendrick's already over it, and I think after the halftime and the Super Bowl, I mean, he's flying high. He should feel good about himself because it was very well received. He did an amazing job and whatnot. He's chilled about this whole thing. For him, he has put it to bed. This is more so for Drake to 7 of Cups. He will try. He will try. Drake will, like, it might be like he comes up, like what I'm seeing is like maybe in an interview in a few months from now, someone asks Drake a question about, and he throws a jab here and there or whatever, but no, it's all dying down. Literally, it's all dying down. The Queen of Swords, yeah, people are over it anyways, I feel. I think money changed hands with the Jay-Z lawsuit. We'll look into that. We're going to do next week about all of them. I need to prepare myself again. Every time I read The Diddler and Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of them, I get sick. So, and I wanted to do it this year, but I'm still fighting off this cold, and I'm like, yeah, I need to be stronger to do these. Their energy is so bad. Benny Hill. Oh, I love your name, Benny Hill. I heard Jay-Z will be exposed by 2028. Russell Simmons will be one of them to expose them before 2028 is going to happen. I've said this before. It's one of my predictions. Yes, Jay-Z is going down. He is next in line. And I do believe it's going to happen before 2028. This year already will start, but I believe 2027 is when Jay-Z's time is coming. There's so much about the Blake Lively stuff. There is so much about it. Like that Virgo Stallion, beige, We call her Beesh with my kids, so we don't use the bad word. Yeah, interesting. I believe it's a settlement mortgage. Yeah, we're gonna do a deep dive on that next week. Very protect. Don't think it's an accident, lawsuit. God, yeah, I know, I know. I just want to keep like to our topic in hand today, and we will just save your questions, you guys. We can do a big deep dive on the Jay-Z stuff and the Diddler stuff, because the Diddler stuff. I mean, we have another 3 months before his hearing starts, so we need to get ready for that because there's a lot happening. Let me tell you something about the exes. Okay. One thing about Scorpios is that they do not forget easily their exes. And especially if they've been dumped, they have a hard time accepting. They can stalk, they remember what I said, they get obsessive. So even if uh, a relationship is done, a Scorpio might even still follow, stalk, cyber stalk, whatever it is, their ex, because they get like they can't accept it. They go into a deep dark hole, which is interesting that you mentioned that, because I love the fact that Kendrick, he knows what he's doing. The fact that he brought SZA and Serena Williams, two of his exes, is just such a jab for Drake. Major. And something else, we all know that Scorpios are the most sexual sign of the zodiac. It's all about sex. They ooze sexuality, they ooze it, and it's all about that for them. So they do use sex a lot to get what they want, to entangle someone. They will use sexual tactics. They do use a lot of sex. So he brought his exes. Kendrick brought his exes on, and I thought that was so smart. I told you, Kendrick's extremely clever. He knows what he's doing. He's been studying. He's probably been studying Drake's chart. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, because people forget. Don't forget to like this video. That's all I'm asking for you from you guys, because this is how you can support this channel. Of course, if you want to support this channel, you can send super chats, or you can donate to my rescue fund, which is called Femme for Rescue. And I just donate every once in a while. I am an active volunteer when it comes to animal rescues, and also I donate from time to time. So if you want to donate, everything's down below in the description box. What a name, huh? Has been calling him out. What role is Lucian playing in this beef? Listen, artists don't like the CEOs. I've been in the music industry. Artists, at first, when you first sign a new artist, they love it. They're like, yes, I have a contract. I've just got money. I have an advance. I have this. I have that. You have all these lawyers around you and all these like A&E and producers and blah, 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 at your beck and call and serving you and whatnot. And trust me, this is a tactic that they do because they want you to feel comfortable with a record label. They want you to follow their advice. They want you to do what you have to do. And if you refuse, then they will say, hey, you know what? Where is it? Here's your contract. Here's your contract. You can't get out of it. You have to do what we say. So, and then eventually they hate the CEOs of the record labels, because the CEOs, all they care about is how they're going to sell more albums, more songs, how many more downloads they can get. So they just push for what they want. And if you don't like it, their contracts are so ironclad, you can't go anywhere. So they don't care. CEOs don't care. They're like, hey, you know what? You don't like it here? I don't care. You have a 3-year contract. Some record labels might even own the catalog as well, which is another thing. They can the artist catalog, and then they are trapped. So yes, to answer your question, I wouldn't be surprised if Drake doesn't like the CEO. Obviously now, like, he's suing Universal, they hate each other. So yeah. And a lot of times, even when their contract is done, when their contract expires, record labels, trust me, I know very well what happens. They have a great way of, unless they kick you out, if you haven't reached the financial goals, their financial goals, then, once your contract is expired, they're like, goodbye, don't let the door hit you on the way out, kind of thing. But if you're one of their star artists, trust me, they're gonna BS you and feed you so much crap and lies to make you feel that you're so damn special that for you to sign the next contract. Usually their contracts are 3 years. Artists have 3-year contracts with the record labels, just so you know. Usually a new artist, brand new, depends. Okay, depends. So let's say if this is Adele, who was just discovered, they would have given her a 3-year contract. But if it's sort of like a young artist with potential, they will probably give them a 2-year contract with the possibility to extend 1 year. So this is how it works. Beef not that deep. Beef not that. We need a better beat for that. One thing I'm not is a songwriter, rapper, blah, blah, blah. Of course, expect the unexpected in FemmeTarot. As you know, anything that I see that is interesting or whatever you guys suggest, I have my lists. As you know, I keep all of your suggestions. And so you never know what you're going to get. Life is like a box of chocolates, to quote Forrest Gump. Interesting. Benny Hill, you're in with all the right questions. You're amazing. Why did Beyonce donate to Busby alma mater? Well, why do you think? And why would she donate? It's a good question. But I want to state, okay, hold on, you guys, before we go to anywhere else. Do you guys have any other oh, there are more questions about Jake. Benny, sorry, one sec. Is Drake afraid for his careers? Also, if the PDF rumors are true, is that something he fears will become public in a more legit way? In his mind, he feels like he can get away with the PDF stuff because he has so far, right? As I mentioned earlier. Okay, so yeah, he is worried. So he is afraid at the moment. He's overthinking right now. He's like anxiety mode. I don't even know why I did the quotes. He is in anxiety mode, but he's also overthinking and thinking and thinking. And he's like reading. He's very much like reading. I feel his energy being online and reading the comments and reading what people are saying, what journalists are saying, hip hop journalists, blah, blah, blah. Rolling Stones, whatever. He's reading it all, right? He's very preoccupied about that. He is worried about what that means for his career in the future, but he's not that worried about his career. He's more worried about what people are saying about him. And when I mean, and not in relation to the PDF stuff, it's more so in relation to Kendrick. He doesn't want to be seen as a lesser or worse rapper, hip hopper than Kendrick. That's his deal. That's his thing. Okay. This is ego. Again, it's ego. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you have to save your money, Drake, because if you're gonna take Universal to court for defamation, this is gonna be a long-standing, long-winded situation. Although I have a feeling he may drop it eventually. Two of Cups and the Fool. Drake cares more about he cares. Listen, he has a fan base. He does have a fan base, and his fan base is not going anywhere, the loyal ones, and he knows that. He worries more about his income, stream of income, and the money than what people say about him being a PDF. To be honest, how I feel his energy tapping in, he doesn't care, the star. So the Fool, Drake is going to take a break. Drake is going to take a break from the limelight, from maybe even music. It's a pause. It's not a Bravo pause where they call it a pause, but it's a cancellation. It's not. It's literally a pause for him to, for people maybe to, so for this whole thing to kind of like die down, and also for him to maybe come up and think of, what did I say earlier, that he should, what I would do is I would say, hey Drake, listen, let's reinvent you. Okay, let's rebrand you. You're talented, you loved writing these verses, and you're good at these bars, etc. Well, listen, let's do something completely outside the box. Okay, and this could also bring in audience or listeners from different genres. So, and I believe this is where it's heading. He also needs, I have the star, him seeing himself as a star. He sees himself as a star. His ego is unmatched. And it's not just his ego. I believe this is a protective mechanism. This is such a scorpionic thing, because like Cancers and Scorpio have these shells. We were talking about this last week. So he has this amazing ability, and Scorpios are very much like the phoenixes. They do rise from their ashes. Scorpios ruled by Pluto, like, oh, death, rebirth, right? He's very much that, the epitome of that. And here's the thing, he doesn't care so much about the PDF stuff, because in his mind, he has convinced himself that he's not a PDF. I haven't done anything wrong. I was just groping and, sucking the neck of a 15-year-old on stage. What's wrong with that? I didn't do anything wrong. I was just being affectionate. In his mind, again, twisting it. So he doesn't see himself as a PDF or someone, well, a lot of PDFs don't see themselves as PDFs. But anyways, he doesn't see himself the way we see him. And for us, it's disgusting. Like, what are you doing? A grown, rich, powerful man, to quote him, Drake, what are you doing with young, innocent, impressionable girls, you idiot? So yeah, he will have to reinvent himself. He always sees himself as a star. He is talented. He's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to be canceled. He's not going to be ruined, because he will find ways to do things differently and still get the attention that he craves. Hope that answers. I have this weird feeling that K Dot will be taken out by higher up, since he seems pure and not into the dark Hollywood weird stuff. Do you think that might happen? Good question. I see what you mean, and I understand your worry. But let's see. My feeling is, I'll tell you what my guide said. Okay, very loud and clear. He's not going to get involved in the Hollywood's weird darkness stuff, ritualistic stuff, because Hollywood is going down. Hollywood is going down. Don't be surprised. 2 years ago, I did a whole video on this. Hollywood is going down. So this whole energy, this whole Hollywood elite situation, they're going to lose a lot of power. A lot of power. And K. Dot, Kendrick, he's savvy. I heard my God say he's savvy. Witty, smart, savvy. Don't worry about him. This comes from my guides. They said, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. No one's gonna be. And if there, I don't know if someone is asking this question in the chat. Maybe I haven't seen it, but I'm hearing it. Is someone worried about Kendrick's, like, if he's safe? Because I saw, like, I just received like Tupac. I saw Tupac, and then I saw K Dot. No, he's fine. He'll be fine. He's not going to be unalived. I don't see. Although I have to say this because this is coming through. It's not going to be a lot unalive, but unfortunately, he's not going to have a long lifespan. And I'll leave it at that. I have some details, but I don't want to put them out in public. I think maybe it's not the time. Maybe some other time I might share. I don't know, but he's not going to have a. I I even have the age. I think it's inappropriate for me to say it. Um, I can privately if you guys want, but I think publicly I'm not going to say it. But he's going to go places. He's going to go places. More places than he is on right now. Interesting. By the way, we are going with Psychic Jamie. We're going to do, because I know that you guys want us have been asking me to do the Delphi murders and the Idaho 4. So we're doing the Delphi murders with Psychic Jamie at the end of the month. Just so you know. You dated a Scorpio, he was weird. Listen, I have this love and a hate with her. Not love and a hate. It's called hot and cold with Scorpios. As you all know, I have a Scorpio moon. So I tend to attract Scorpios. Like my ex-boyfriend, he was a Pisces with a Scorpio ascendant. My other ex-boyfriend, he was a Sagittarius with a Scorpio stellium. It's a whole thing. I just attract these Scorpios, right? The thing is, initially, Scorpios are amazing because they get so obsessed. They are like, they give you their undivided attention to you. They shower you with like words of affirmation, with words of endearment, and they're touchy feely and sexual. You have all, it's all great at first. Very intense though. They won't let you go. Like literally, you're like, but I have to get out of bed. I need to go to work. And they're like, don't go. Call in sick. Please don't go. I don't want you going. You've got to stay here with me. Like they get, it's just gets a lot. It's a lot. But then once you get in a relationship, unfortunately, and again, it depends on their chart, depends on the placements, it depends on 1,000 other things. But here I'm kind of generalizing. But Scorpios can get way too much. Like you can't even go to the grocery shopping without having your Scorpio partner next to you, just escorting you wherever you go. Oh, you're going out with your friends? It's ladies' night tonight. Well, let me drop you off and I'll come pick you up later. 2:00, I'll be there before you turn into a pumpkin. Scorpios. So there's something about Scorpios, but if you meet Scorpios that have good placements and they have more earth, like they have a nice mix of earth and fire in their charts, they can be so good, and they have a very very unique sense of humor as well, and they're very creative, very musical. Scorpios are extremely musical, something that people are not aware of because they pretty much relate Scorpio with darkness and, obsession and sex and drugs and all of it. Will there be against Drake given the minor allegations? No, I don't believe so. Unless one of the minors comes out, there's not going to be an allegation. No. He gets away with a lot of stuff. 29th degree Leo ascendant. He gets away with a lot. He's got luck on his side, you guys. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards on this question. Ooh. I love talking about the music industry. I was just thinking. One of my favorite topics. 7 of Wands. Nope. The answer is no. No. I have 7 of Wands. He's untouched when it comes to that, unless one of these minors come forward. The World. He's got other things to worry about right now, to be honest. lawsuit with Universal. A lot of fans. Kendrick's popularity and and reputation and everything just growing and growing, and Drake looking like an idiot. More and more, he looks like an idiot. I assume it was because of our air and fire just fuel each. Actually, fire and air is a great combo. For instance, with Aries and Aquas, great combination, amazing combination. Actually, Libras and Aries, not so good, not so good. But I like the combination of fire and air in general. It works well, but these have to be actually evolved fire signs, because air signs cannot deal too much with unevolved, too much fire energy around them. I'm an Aquarius and we aren't stubborn, ma'am. I'm an Aquarius. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're stubborn. We don't want to admit it. I would not admit to myself or others I was stubborn for years. Now I can tell you. Now I know I'm stubborn. I am. I'm very like, if I want something, I'm going to go out and get it. This is how stubborn I am. Not as bad as Taurus. I have a Taurus sun. I have a lot of Tauruses around me. They take the cake, but Aquariuses are stubborn. To feel that they were oblivious and Joe giving me question marks, I find, what are you talking? Maybe I missed something? Because you guys are talking in the chat and I can't see everything in the chat. Peach tea. Peach tea. I would like a peach tea right now. The most important cue. Does Drake have a secret daughter, the 1K dot referenced in Meet the Grahams? Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't believe that. I believe that just K dot just threw it out there. Just threw it out there. I don't feel a daughter energy around Drake or anything like that. Hold on. Let's see. I don't see it. No, there is no girl. No. I got the 9 of Cups. Listen, it feels like he just threw it out there. How would K dot know? How would K dot know? But no, I don't feel a girl energy around him. A daughter energy, I mean. I love how you all guys are using their original names or aliases. Aubrey needs a long pause, but he didn't know how to shut up. Romo. Aubrey, for anyone who doesn't know, is Drake. Okay. Oh, I'm way behind in the chat. Okay, sorry everyone. Oh, Campire's in the house. You know, when I said about Tauruses, I was thinking of you and you were here and I didn't realize. You are stubborn. Hello. I'm stubborn. You're stubborn. We're very stubborn. Yeah. But you've got Leo. You've got your Cancer in the Leo that balances your stubbornness out, Campire. That is. What article regarding the apology? What did I miss? What are you? Okay, Light Mission says, I agree, but it goes both ways. Scorpio placements can be obsessive, but they can be on the receiving end of others' obsessions. Also, Scorpio, that's why I said it has to do with their placements. You know, we're just generalizing, but of course, placements. For instance, I have a Scorpio moon, but Scorpio moons can be very, very intense, extremely emotional. For instance, like that would be the checkpoints about Scorpio moons. I'm emotional, but I'm not that emotional. I have my emotions in check. And also I'm not self-destructive. I don't do so. It has to do with the rest of my chart, and it has to do with my big 3, etc. Doo-doo-doo. Why do you want a Carlos King reading? What is up with him? Why Carlos King? Let me know. Yes, K. Kendrick Lamar was being messy, and Drake could not take it, and he's like, "You don't do this to me. I'll show you." And 13 years down the line, who's at the Super Bowl who did amazingly? K. Dot. So, the world is in stubborn, but stubborn turned upside down is patience. You're right. Yeah, Tauruses are extremely patient and calm until they're not patient. Then they're not calm. So yeah, Kempire is a very balanced Taurus. Kempire is a very Taurian energy, but I have to say it's not too much, because if you have like a Taurus stellium, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. It's hard for people to approach you or come close to you. You have sort of like a wall, like an invisible around you. But Kempire's chart is not. He does have the Taurus, but he has all the positive aspects of Taurus because of the rest of his chart. Kempire, we need to do a live chart reading analysis. He's always on fire, my boo. I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that, Kempire. Yeah. I mean, we don't, yeah. There's nothing to read about Carlos King. Yes, go follow Kempire for you, because we have new viewers. We have a lot of new people online. If you're following me, you follow Kempire too, you guys. Kempire is one of my besties. Love him to bits. And we collaborate a lot. I know it's been a while, you guys. It's been busy for both of us. And I've been, as you know, I've been nonstop sick. It's never ending. So yeah, follow Kempire, everyone. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, love back. Love back. Okay, but I've been thinking of you. I want to text you. Keep seeing it. I'm telling you, perimenopause. I forget, you guys. I forget. Sometimes I forget. I forget that I've eaten and I eat again. And then I'm like, why do I feel so bloated? And then I'm like, okay, I ate twice. I'm like Dory, literally. We always joked about me being Dory. Kempire and I, especially, but here as well in the Femme Village. I've completely become a Dory. Uh-huh. Yeah, send me. Yeah, you do that. Oh Lord, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Send me the gossipy voice note. All right, you guys. I don't know. Have you got any other questions? We've been on this live for almost an hour and a half. So I don't know. I think it's clear. I think we all know now that this beef has lasted way too long, and it started from something complete. It was just a petty, like Drake was being petty and just taking himself way too seriously. He's taken it to the next level, but loved Kendrick, loved K. Dot at the Super Bowl. I think a lot of you agree. Yeah, you've got to watch it. It's a good one. Oh yeah, we have plenty of those with Campfire. Trust me, those gossip notes come and go, especially late at night here with me, which is usually when Campire's just done his videos or his live, and then we have all these like gossip notes that go back and forth. Some gossip we cannot share with you guys. Some stuff just stays between us, unfortunately, or fortunately for the people that we gossip about. Oh God, burnout phones when we pass on. Yes. Password protected, fingerprint, and iris recognition on our phones. So if anything happens to Kempire and I, no one is going to have access to all of the stuff. A lot of predictions. I send Kempire a lot of predictions as I receive them. I send them to Kempire first, just so you know, because he keeps me accountable as well. So, or he remembers them, and then he's like, Didn't you do that? Didn't you predict that back then? And this before I even shared them with you guys. So yeah. All right, you guys, thank you for joining. Thank you to the Fem Village. So don't forget, you guys, to like this video and do share it with your peers. Let's grow this Fem Village. Let's make the Fem Village into a Fem Nation. And then once we're a nation, we can do a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff together, bigger things. There's a lot of plans for the future. Right now, I'm not traveling on planes. I'm just saying, I'm not. My kids are traveling in 2 months, and I'm like just not feeling good about it. But anyways, don't want to scare anyone. I'm just saying that right now, you know what? Let's March and April are going to be big, huge, disruptive months. All right. You know this. Last few months I've been saying this. Let's get over March and April, and then we can start planning and scheduling things. All right, you guys. I love you all. Don't forget, if you want to book a reading with me, you can do it only via my website. This is my only website, okay? And on social media, if you don't see a blue tick next to FemmeTarot, then do not engage with them. There are a lot of scammers out there, a lot of people that will act as if they're FemmeTarot, that will ask you to have a reading, and then they will take your money. That's not me. Use my website. And other information, always check the description box. I just add them there to not waste any time here. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining. I'll be seeing you next week. Next week, there's going to be a lot more videos. End of the month, we have the Delphi murders coming up with Psychic Jamie, and there's more. There's going to be a part 2 about the extraterrestrials. With this time, it will probably be with just Preston, because he didn't have the chance in that previous video to talk much because Dolly took over. So we'll just have Preston. So a lot of things happening. Make sure you have the notifications on YouTube so you don't miss a beat, you don't miss a thing. Love you all. Take care. Happy Sunday. See you soon. Bye.